I mean, I can see immediately who most of these people are. It's weird, right? You think about something like this as sweeping and epic as this, you're thinking of like a lot of characters, right? You in your head, I was thinking about this going, oh, I've got like 100 characters ranked. This will be quite a long one. There's not that many Lord of the Rings characters comparatively to something like Harry Potter. And I know there's more books there, but there's a lot more going on most of the time in Lord of the Rings. But there's not that many characters. You got the Fellowship, that's 9. You got all, like, 4 female characters that are in the entire thing. It's like 13. You got a few other, like, important ones here and there, like Eomer and Denethor, Faramir. And then beyond that, there's no one important, really, because there isn't really, like, Saruman and Sauron are the villains for the whole thing. And then you do have... Yeah, they do have the Witch King here as well. And the Ring. And then they've got some of the kind of the orcs and stuff that speak. But they're not important characters, you know. If they'd done the full 24-hour cut, of the trilogy, took 8 hours per film, then they would have added in like 1 hour of just the orcs hanging around. And 11 more hours of elves, probably, somehow. Yeah, no, it would have... But yeah, it's weird to think there's not actually that many Lord of the Rings characters. No Hobbit characters really specifically included in this as well, so it kind of looks a lot smaller than I expected it to. Well, we'll do what we always do. We'll just kind of put, like, somebody on each tier. Easy start, right? Hello. There we go. Sorry I wasn't in your stream yesterday. No, no worries, man. Nobody's obliged to be here every day. Or ever, actually. Oh no, we fell for all the ads? What does that mean? Yeah, no, Aragorn's pretty easy to put on S tier. Who the fuck else are you going to put on S tier if you're not Aragorn, you know? He's just such a cool character. He's the epitome of that swashbucklingly awesome, effortlessly awesome kind of character. He's the lead we deserve. Then... There's fucking Frodo, wherever he's hiding. There he is. Oh, we'll put him on a different tier. Gotta put Legolas on A then, right? Oops. Yep. I think so. I think that as well. Yeah, hey John, how's it going? Yeah, I think he's got to go on A, because Legolas isn't as good as Aragorn, you know? Like, Aragorn is just so great. So effortlessly great. But Legolas and Gimli have a lot of great moments. They're really cool characters. They're just plain, like, good characters. They're just very net good characters. Just good guys. And they don't really make mistakes or anything. And Legolas is such a great tracker. He's got all the cool elf shit without being too annoying. It's very important. How many fellowships are getting S? Legolas A, really? Well, I mean, I'm not going to put the whole Fellowship on S tier. Nobody would go on, like, A or B then. I gotta even it out here, you know? And we gotta make it very clear here. Aragorn is cooler than basically anybody else. This game isn't even out yet. What? What do you mean? I'm talking about the movies, man. What? B tier... Tricky B tier. You know, maybe the Eagles. The Eagles would be S tier if they'd helped more, but they had the ability to help like that, and yet they had some complex religious code that barred them from it. I don't like anybody who's really that behind religion. But, I mean, the Eagles are good. They're good characters. They're strong performance when they turn up. It's just kind of, it's that unreliable friend that... It's like if Superman was super unreliable, you know? Just turned up 1/3 of the time you needed him. Something like that. Nobody is going to F? Oh, somebody's going to F. We gotta put people on every tier, man. We always do. C tier. C tier. How about Sam's lady? Sam's lady. She's nice. Totally forgot her name. He just rambles. He just rambles, and he definitely, it doesn't show it, but he's definitely jerking off to her. Isn't this Lord of the Rings Rise to War? No. What? No. What? This isn't a game. Nice Minecraft music background. Thank you. Yeah, I think Sam's girl, like, it's a character that you like. He is so sweet about her that she seems just really nice. And after disappearing for like a year, 13 months or something, the whole journey takes, he just turns up again, just immediately like, hey, and she's like, hey. She's into that. That's nice. She just seems very nice. Kind, sweet. Can't put her higher, but I have no reason to put her lower, you know? Yeah, it's typical. D, how about like Eowyn? I am no man. Pretty badass in a way, right? But at the same time, very bad cook. And tries to poison Aragorn to death. Tries to lure him away from his sexy, hot, betrothed elf babe. She's just a horrible person, really, isn't she? Useless character, really. Why? Why bother? Why bother with the female representation? There's really... You didn't try for so long. You may as well have just not bothered because you didn't do it very well when you did, honestly, you know? Turning up not on time, that's Goku's Dragon Ball. Yeah, that sounds about right. There is a movie of Lord of the Rings, so they made a game about it. Yeah, they made a bunch of games about it. There's some really bad ones ever. Most mainstream opinion ever. For which one? What do you mean? Why do people keep saying this kind of thing? Jesus Christ. Right. E tier. Who's actually that bad? Ooh. Good question. Who's an E tier? Well, I see. How about Denethor? Okay, tough decision. Yeah. You could easily put him on F. But I think there's something like... There's something redeemable about him, like I feel like there's meant to be something slightly redeeming about him, so there's always like a bit of like a... when he like goes over the cliff. At the same time, you know it's for the best. The Mouth of Sauron-y? That's fair. Don't be a simp. To who? Who am I simping for here? Yeah, I think Denethor's got to go there. He's like... He's not the worst character out there. You know, he's the worst character out there. Let's just put him down there. Complete our little initial go round here, because... Jesus, you know? Jesus. Yeah, for sure. Boo. Alright. What? What now? Yeah, I think we gotta leave Grima down there, because fuck him, right? Just fuck him. I mean, like, Gandalf is another S, right? If anybody's as effortlessly cool as Aragorn, it's him. Nobody else. Yeah, why boo? What's going on? What's going on, Benjamin? Gandalf, like, because I wouldn't put Legolas, and I don't think I'll put Gimli. Like, I think Gimli's another A with Legolas. I think Gandalf and Aragorn are, like, the two real S tiers amongst that kind of half of the Fellowship, if you will. Because... Gandalf's just got so much to love about him. Put that cookie down now. Are you okay? What's going on? Yeah, I think those two are really great. And then Legolas and Gimli are like, they've got their own thing going on. Their own, like... I mean, they kind of simp for each other, right? They've got their own thing going on. And, I don't think they're quite on the same level, but they're a lot of fun. Yeah. I think Faramir, right? Faramir's got to be like a B tier, okay? I think it'd be kind to put him higher. Benjamin, you got to take a chill pill. I think so, yeah. Yeah, Faramir. Look, he's not like the best character out there. He's not that much of a character. The main reason he's there is for us to feel sympathetic towards him because his daddy loved his brother better, you know? It's a line from Jingle All the Way. Oh, okay. I don't think many people are going to grab that reference immediately. Okay. Yeah, no, I think Faramir, he's not, like, top tier. If you'd gotten more into his character, we'd seen more of him. Like, I believe he could have been like an A. But kind of, you don't really. He's kind of stubborn. He's like, fine, Dad, I'll go get myself killed just to piss you off. He's like an angsty teenager. Except he's clearly not he's not meant to be a teenager, right? He's way older than that. He's way too old for that. This is going to be a short stream, I think. Yeah. Well, the tier lists often aren't long. But I did think, in my head, I assumed there were more Lord of the Rings characters. Once you actually think about it, you kind of realize, not really. This is only like 50, a bit over 50 characters. There aren't more than that. It's weird. But, I mean, some tier lists are short. And some... Domhnall Gleeson should be the next Doctor. I agree. Yeah, for sure. Okay, another C tier. You know what? It's again, C tier is just the place where we're putting the nice characters, but there's nothing to. That's Shadowmare. That's Gandalf's horse, Shadowmare. Shadowmare, just every shot of that horse is so fucking elegant, right? Every time you see it on the screen, it's just going doom, 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 doom. It's like Baywatch running for horses. It's incredible. And it feels like every time you see it on screen, it's like watching Princess Buttercup from The Princess Bride float down from the window at the very end of the film. You know? The very elegant, like, slow motion shot. That's all you get for Shadowmare. It's also the only horse that I could actually name. You know, we've got like Aragorn's here as well. I couldn't name that horse. I can name Shadowmare because badass horse, right? Shadowmare's cute. Yep. I'm not sure if that is the right word for a horse, but no, Shadowmare's a fucking, that horse fucks, you know? And I think it's a fine character, right? D again. D again. How about Smeagol's friend? Deagle? I think his name's literally like Deagle. Smeagol and Deagle. Come on. He's only shown in that flashback from when Gollum was still properly humanoidish at the start of the third film. But like, yeah, it's another character that you're kind of just meant to feel sorry for. He finds the ring, and then he gets killed for it immediately by his best friend. But there's no character there, he just kind of seems vaguely annoying off the bat. Next character is a D. Yep, D for Deagle. So yeah, I think that's... Like, I don't like him, but I don't like really hate him either, you know? That's kind of D. It's the same for Eowyn. E, I think you were onto something earlier, Adam. The Mouth of Sauron. He's not the most annoying villainous character out there, but he's there to piss the good guys off and to piss us off, you know? And the next an E and another for an F. Yeah, I don't normally do it like this, and I'm not going to be able to keep doing it like this because the numbers are never even, but I could do a couple rounds through like this. It's fun. Yeah, I think Mouth of Sauron, he's a pissy, annoying character. He's got way too many teeth on show. Shouldn't have that many teeth on show at any time in your life. But he's not the worst of the villainous characters we've got here, right? Another F. Interesting. How about this bitch? This is how far we've gone down the list of characters to even get over 50. It's crazy. I really didn't think you'd have to go that far down. But like the woman and the man, the hobbits that stare at Gandalf as he like comes into the Shire, he's just kind of like, and then his wife is like, and then he's like, he just seems really nice. She seems horrible. She seems just like a horrible person. I've always had it in my head canon that those are like the Sackville Bagginses or something, and she's like Bathilda Sackville Baggins or whatever her name is in the books. She's just horrible. So I'm just, in my head canon, that's always been her. It's probably not. They live too close to Frodo, so they actually live in Hobbiton, which the Sackville Bagginses don't, but it doesn't matter. Are you listing the characters randomly? What are you... I'm kind of picking them out of here when I see one that I think belongs on the tier I'm up to, but I'm not randomly chucking them wherever on this, no. The point is not to do that. See, I don't know if there is another... Is there another S tier in here? I mean, it would be cruel for all that he gave, all that he sacrificed for our sins, I guess, not to give Samwise Gamgee, there he is, an S tier, right? Like, I'm not giving one to Frodo, or any of the other hobbits, really, but Sam, if there's a third S tier character in this series, it's Samwise Gamgee, right? Like, he's just that good. And when you really think about it, because that's the thing, Frodo holds the ring that whole time, that whole way, all that way, and then he's too weak to throw it in by the end of the journey, right? So Sam has to help him out, has to carry him up the fucking mountain. But ask yourself this, you know, if Sam had carried the ring that whole way, do you really think Frodo would have carried him up the mountain? No, sir. Also, I think Sam would have made it up the mountain himself. Sam is just an A, not an S. No, come on. He's that good, you know? He's not as lovable immediately off the bat as Gandalf or Aragorn, but you grow to love Sam in your own unique way, because he's always right, and he's not really a prick about it. You know, he, like, at the end of the day, when Gollum betrays them again, like, he could wake up in Rivendell after all that, and just look at Frodo and be like, bitch, please, I told you so! And he doesn't do any of that, because he's just such a nice guy. He's the ultimate nice guy, you know? And he gets nothing for it. Everyone's like, oh, good job, Frodo. And Sam's just like, I'm also here. I did it too. I did more work. Doesn't matter. Sam deserves the S tier because he gets no credit in any other form. He fought a giant spider and Gollum. This is true. Carried Frodo up a mountain. Got the, you know, just threw the ring in, you know. Did all the work. He did everything. Really did. Frodo was just a little bitch about the whole thing. That whole situation. A tier. I don't know. Might just have to start going through them at this point. Okay. Arwen. Look, I mean, she's the best female character, right? Of all, like, 4 female characters. I suppose, like, the horse. Some of the horses might be female. Are any of these orcs female? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know how they reproduce. It's not important. And then, I suppose, like, Shelob. Where's Shelob? Shelob's also, like, a female, right? Oh, is that Shelob? Yeah, I guess so. So, like, you could generously, if you're being very generous, round up and say there's, like, 10 female characters in the whole thing, but that's very generous. That's only if you also include, like, her. Couldn't name her. Is the ring female? Ah, interesting. No, because it just doesn't have gender, right? At least those other things generally have some sort of gender. Balrog could be. Balrog could be a female. I think she is female. Oh, what, Shelob? Yeah, I think so. I don't know about the ring. I think Balrog could be. You could make an argument for the Balrog, right? We don't know. We never see any others of its kind. Yeah, right. Arwen is the best female character, I think. She is very like, oh, Father, what have you done? Have you forsaken my love? But that's fine. I'm probably a B, right? I'll give her a B. Put her on the same tier as, like, Faramir's, the Eagles. I think you can swing that far. I don't think she can go much further. She's not as good as Gimli or Legolas. But she's more than just, like, a fun character that you kind of vaguely like without really knowing. She is more than that. So she deserves the B. The Balrog. Tough to rank the Balrog, right? It's the most badass fantasy Dungeons and Dragons-y sort of villain that we get in the series, right? That's like an ultimate Dungeons and Dragons, gotta get your whole party to level 20 before you can go in there kind of one. Balrog also non-binary? It's possible. Yeah. I think she's female or gay. Which one? The ring? Representation? I suppose technically, wouldn't know for sure because we don't know much about the Balrog's race outside of that one itself. But yeah, I guess you do call it an it. You don't call the Balrog a he. So sure, we can pretend it's non-binary. It's hard to rank. It is a badass villain. It might be like another B. It's a really cool villain. In terms of the villains, maybe we'll give it an A. Like, it's not obviously as as much of a character as Gimli and Legolas, but it is a cool character. Like, that is just... What a design that thing has. It's so cool, and you don't get to see as much of it as you wish you could. You would love to see more Balrog. Even though there's no way that they could actually beat it then, if it actually stuck around to any degree. Yeah. Anyway, that's Barlaman Butterbeer, right? The tavern owner from Bree. We really go far down the list of characters for this, don't we? That's not much of a character. He seems nice enough. He seems nice. I've got nothing against him. He gets scared by the ring wraiths, but does he survive? I think he survives. I don't think they killed him. They might have killed him. But he seems nice enough. I like him. He seems fine. We can put him on C. You know what? He doesn't annoy me. We can put him on like a C. He doesn't sell them out or anything, right? I don't think so. Bilbo... Oh. Bilbo is tough, okay? Bilbo is tough because, yeah, that's hard to think about. Like, he's a likable character, but there's also, like I was scarred in my childhood by the fright he gave me doing the whole thing, you know, that terrifying moment. So, how high can you put him? I mean, he's just a kindly old man. He is a bit of a nothing character in this one, for most of it. And he tries to be like such a sneaky boy at the start. I'll give him a C. Yeah, I don't think I can really put him much higher than that, but I'll give him a C. That seems fine. What horse is that? That's Aragorn's horse. That's Shadowmare's. That's Gandalf's. What horse is that? Is it the cart horse that Gandalf has with him at the start? You gotta be fucking me. Are there seriously no other characters than these ones? Like, in the whole... that are on screen in the film? Like, God. Wow. Okay. Gandalf's cart horse, I think. What do you think about the Irish flag? I like the Irish flag. Why? What? Why? Yeah, I like it. Gandalf's cart horse, I guess you could give like a D. It's not as good as Shadowmare. And Aragorn's horse similarly, well, it goes and actually picks him up. It's a good horse. You know what? We'll move Gandalf's cart horse down to E so that we can give that one a D, because it's still not as good as Shadowmare, but it's a cool horse. Boromir. Ooh. The ultimate, where the hell does he go, huh? Oh. Sauron was a mental threat. Saruman was a scheming one. The Balrog was the most powerful physical threat. That's true. Shadowmare is still cute. Sure. It's the top horse. Boromir's hard. He's very hard because he is an annoying character. He was this foil to the rest of the Fellowship. He was really playing devil's advocate to everything they said that they should do with the ring. The whole film, and then he died. The ultimate, like, last second redemption story. Like, literally, right at the end there, he's like, go, Frodo, get away. And then he's like, go, Merry and Pippin, I will save you, and fights everything, and takes 1 billion arrows to try and help them get away. Merry and Pippin don't get away, but Frodo did, so he was semi-successful in his sacrifice, as well as being an absolute badass right at the end. And he is, like, one hell of a warrior, you know? I guess it evens out to a place where you've got to give him a B. He's not as good as Legolas or Gimli. It is interesting to put him on the same tier as Faramir, but I think Faramir was just a nicer person, but Boromir was probably a better warrior, and so if you put the two of them together, they could have made another Aragorn, you know? They could have been Aragorn tier together, but Aragorn's like the best of both worlds between those guys, so they can both be on the same tier. I think that's okay. Is that Celeborn? What a stuck-up cunt, huh? He represents the worst of elves. That's like as close as we get to the level of annoyances that the elves give you in the Hobbit films. He had some good moments before the end, teaching the Hobbits and wanting to give them a moment. True. That's true. He's still not on an A tier. He's still not on Legolas or Gimli's level. Like, but he is. He's high. He's high. He's high. Celeborn he's annoying. And he's not really there for much. You know, they need to talk to Galadriel when they get there, and then they have their friend who comes to the Battle of Helm's Deep and dies there. This guy does fucking nothing. This guy, yeah, fuck it, give him an E tier. Fuck him. That's right. Take that, Celeborn. Elrond, similarly. Like, what's he do? What's he do, you know? Nothing. Sure, I get it. He already had all of his battles. He battled loads already. 4 Middle-earths, you know, rescued it. But this time around, he's just like, oh, I will host this council. I'll hold the party, and then you guys go do the work, and I'll stay here and chill. To be fair, Galadriel does the same thing. Another one of the Elven ring wearers, super powerful, sits around, does nothing. And I guess part of that is they talk about that more in the books, like they didn't want the Elven rings and the Dwarven rings and stuff to be falling into Sauron's hands, since he already had the 9 rings of men, and they didn't want him getting the 1 ring, but they also didn't want him getting the Elven rings and stuff. So since Elrond and Galadriel had Elven rings as well as Gandalf, they kind of stayed away. But Elrond he's a bit of a cuck, you know. he doesn't do much. He's all like, oh no, we elves, we're going to run away. That's what we're up to. Yeah. So how high can he go, really? Ouch. Bro, I saw your job video. I didn't know. Keep your head high. People don't seem supportive of you. Oh, well, thank you very much. I mean, what are you going to do? There's only so much you can get in terms of support on the internet anymore. A large proportion of people are only going to be out to shit on things. That's just the way it works. Eomer's another difficult one. You know, again, he's a good guy. He's not a hugely relevant guy. He is played by Karl Urban, one of the greatest actors of our generation. But, how high can you put him as a character? Not hugely. He's probably another, like, Boromir level, like a B tier. I think I could give him a B tier, but he's not a top tier character, is he? Because what do we know about him? Not all that much. But, you know, yeah, he's fine. I like him more than I like the C tiers. The C tiers I just kind of like for no real reason without much characterization. And the D tiers I just kind of vaguely dislike. So it's kind of easy to get to B tier. It's kind of easy. You just have to have an actual character. Dude, no one is going to hire you even if you spent $10,000. You need to really have a high university degree. I do. Did I not make that clear on the billboards and stuff? I've got a degree in mathematical, statistical, and actuarial sciences. It's a proper degree. It's a good degree from a good university. Whoops. This guy is just kind of another non-character, really. What's his name? Is that Sam's dad? I don't think so. Right? It's just another hobbit from the Shire that the ring wraiths talk to. Did they kill him? I think they might kill him. I think he eventually, does tell about Frodo, or maybe he doesn't, actually. Does he kind of say, no baggins around here? You know what? I'll give him a C. I like that guy as well. He's a nothing character who I like. Because that's bold. That's big balls. Kind of going up to the ring race like that and being like, what's up? What's up? Oh, shit. We have to be reasonable, guys. We can't just give Frodo an F because we kind of hate him. We have to be reasonable about this, okay? Where does he actually deserve to go? This is a certified Hood classic. Okay. Because look, I mean, it's easy to go, oh yeah, Sam's the real S tier hero and Frodo's an F tier bitch. And he is kind of a bitch, you know? He's under the ring's influence. He's not actually that weak a bitch. I think Sam would have been stronger. But Frodo, he kind of... He's fine. He's fine, okay? He's not a really hateable character, really. He definitely vaguely annoys me for a majority of the runtime. I'll give him a D. C? I could give him a C, but I like those characters. Do I actually like Frodo Baggins? No. No, I don't think he was well suited to the task, really. He held up to it better than some people would to the Power of the Ring. But, like, he was a pampered rich boy, really. Bilbo got all that money in The Hobbit, brought it back, and then he raised Frodo as a pampered rich boy. Sam was the real hard-working, third-class guy who came up, survived, came with him, did all the real work, saw Gollum for what he was, etc., etc., carried Frodo up the mountain. I like Sam. I don't like Frodo as a character, you know? He's just like, Sam. It's the one line. It's the one memorable line he has. I have no idea for a name. Are you okay? Dude, stop with the cancer comments. It's alright. Galadriel is another tough one. She doesn't annoy me as much as Celeborn. He's an annoying bitch, and he's there for no reason. And he's just one of those real, like, elf characters. Galadriel's not really like that. She is very fancy, and she's like, Mr. Frodo, I am the queen of all darkness. And she's terrifying. But at least she gives the best explanation of why she's not going to help, because if she goes too near the ring, she goes psychopath crazy. Very scary. Probably worse than Sauron if she got it. So that makes sense, you know, that she stays behind. And she's a nice enough character. She does all the big, like, voiceovers at the beginning and stuff. Very strong performance there. So... be like a B? It's kind of kind. But maybe like a B. During this era, I was heavy into Matrix. I ate it up. I was trying to lift stop signs. Yeah. Oh, man. I remember the first time I saw the Matrix. I wasn't actually that young. I didn't actually see it when I was that young. It's probably like 7 or 8 by the first time I saw it. And it kind of like half confused me and half I was like, oh my god, can I bend like that? I think I hurt myself trying to. This guy's like Faramir's helper boy, right? Another character who's a nothing character. I couldn't name him if my life depended on it. But he's nice enough. Like, there's nothing wrong with him. He rides into battle. I think he dies. I think he probably dies. Most of these nothing characters die. Like, when you actually look at this character list, probably like half of these characters are dead by the end. Or die during it and come back. Gandalf, you big cheeky boy. We should have 2 Gandalfs on this list, really. He's very much a... It doesn't annoy me. So I guess, is that a free C? Giving out too many easy C's. You know, we'll leave him on D. I don't particularly care for him either. Like, I have no feelings about him, really. Gollum. Similarly to Frodo, we have to, like, have some level of sympathy for Gollum, right? Because, like, you look at Grima Wormtongue, there's no reason for him being that much of a cuck. And you look at the farmer's wife, that's mostly a meme. She probably doesn't deserve the F, but from everything we see her, you're just like, she's horrible. So we're going to leave her there. She's such a Karen. Gollum, you don't give him a lot of love, don't get me wrong. Like, he doesn't seem like a particularly great guy in the flashback when he was normal. And then he immediately murders his best friend because he's so weak to the Power of the Ring. So for that alone, you've got to kind of hate him. You also feel sympathy for what he was turned into by the end. Better than killing a lot of characters for shock value. Well, true. Is that a shot at Game of Thrones? I mean, yeah, there are times where they definitely just do that. But, yeah. Gollum, I'll give him an E. He's too iconic to go on F. He's way too iconic. You can't like him, though. But he does have his moments where he's, like, talking to himself and stuff. It's very funny. He's, like, one of the funniest characters as well. That's true. You know, that's true. He's a very evil character, but as a villain, you know what? We'll give him a C. I'm jumping all over the place, so it's very hard to rank him. Because it's not necessarily how much do you like him as a character, because obviously, like, we don't like the Balrog, but we think Balrog is a badass villain. You gotta rank the heroes and villains separately for different reasons, you know? I like him. Gollum is, like, he's such a... Because he's not like a strong villain, he is like a real schemy villain, like Saruman. But, like, he's a very interesting character. It's a very interesting character study to make, you know? Yeah. It is difficult to know where to rank him. As like a how he's portrayed as a character, how much story he's given, how interesting he is. Yeah, I guess he's probably higher in the C because of that, right? Fuck it. Okay, we'll put him on A. Oh, there's so many random orcs here. Okay, so let me think. Let me try and get these right in my head. This one is one of the ones that Sam faces in the tower, right? Or like when he grabs Frodo when like Shelob gets him. I think he's at that point. So he's a nothing. He's not got anything really interesting about him as a villain. We'll put him on A. Okay. I believe this one is the like, let me just take a bite of Merry and Pippin when they're transporting them to, when they're taking the hobbits to Isengard in the second film. Again, a really bitchy, nasally, annoying character. He's annoying, isn't he? Yeah. Maybe we give him the F. However, good that nobody's going to F anymore. Well, he is, but not too many characters here to go to F, really. How Game of Thrones was looking, I thought this is going to end horribly and quit season 2. For many, I was called stupid, but look who's laughing now. Probably them also. Well, I mean, to be fair, I do still think that seasons like 5 to 7... 8 was the last one, right? I think seasons 5 to 7 are some of the best TV you'll ever see, because it's so hard for TV to get to that level of budget. Like, that is crazy. Crazy levels of budget, and it looked incredible, and it was so good on story. Had a lot of the characters it was really good with as well. So I genuinely think seasons 5 to 7 is some incredible television. But yeah, season 8 was a travesty to end it. How about the Hobbit movies? Is the franchise dead? Could it come back like Star Wars? The Hobbit movies were fine. They're not as good as Lord of the Rings movies by any stretch of the imagination. They felt cheesier, not as good, and way more dragged out. Like, you could have added hours of runtime to the Lord of the Rings films in the stuff they left out from the books. Whereas Hobbit, oh, that should have been one film. For as long as those films are, should have just been one film. Maybe 2. Maybe could have stretched it to 2. My comments are not cancer, but they are a certified hood classic. Do you even know what that means? I'm not sure I do. Yeah, wait, what was I saying? So this guy is the whiny bitch when they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. I think this guy... Wait. I'm unsure. There's this guy and there's that guy, and I might be mixing them up. I think that's Lurch or Lux or Lux or something. Something beginning with L. He's the one in the Fellowship of the Ring, actually, okay? I think he's the one in the Fellowship that kills Boromir and then fights Aragorn, and Aragorn kills him. Badass. But we'll come back to him. I think then this guy is the other one that's with them and talks when they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. He kills this guy, and then he says, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. So for such a meme of a singular line, we've got to give him a decent rank. We'll give him a C, okay? Not much of a character, but he became an instant meme with like one line. Genius. Genius. So we got to give him a good rank. Then this guy, he is a good villain. He actually kills Boromir. Like, that's strong villain performance. For a random, nameless, practically, voiceless, practically, orc, he is a badass villain. So we're going to give him a B. He's got to go higher than that guy because he's more dangerous. He's a hella dangerous villain. Like, how did he kill Boromir? One of the greatest warriors on this whole list, you know? And he basically, and I know a lot of people were coming at him, but I mean, he just had the bow, he just hit him. Could Boromir have blocked those bows? Or arrows? Maybe if he wasn't fighting so many at once, but he still got him. Do you like football? I do. I was stupidly into Lost, so I have my Hobbit sensor on. Whenever a show is asking more questions than answering, I put my Lost hat on. You need to end stories as you start new ones. I know what you mean. Game of Thrones, because they had the template of the books, wasn't and didn't need to be quite as worried with that because it kind of knew where all these threads were going. Until they didn't. Until they didn't really have the template of the books anymore because they got ahead of them. Yeah. And he saved Merry and Pippin from the other original. How did Orc... become... Oh, right. That's true. That guy does. The C tier. He saves Merry and Pippin. So he's a good hero and an interesting kind of villain because of the meme. And then you got this guy who's... like, he's got a few lines and he's kind of badass as well, and he just like steps out of the way of like the big catapult rock coming at him. Like, he's a badass villain, like actively a badass villain. I think I got to give him a B tier as well. I don't quite want to give him an A either. We got a lot on B here, but he's cool. In Return of the King, when he turns up, you're just like, oh fuck yeah, that guy, and then he's such a cool like general character. He wasn't the one who killed Boromir. That was Lurtz. Yeah, this one, right? That's Lurtz, right? Am I getting all these orcs mixed up? There's a bunch of them here, but I thought that was Lurtz. That's the one who says meat's back in the menu. That's the one who he kills before he says meat's back in the menu. That's one from the like tower after Shelob. Maybe. That's very difficult. It's very difficult to see from these pictures. They're not great. This guy's kind of a badass elf. He's the most badass elf, right? Not much of a character. I would struggle to name him, but he is good, and then he dies for our sins. Because he dies, because he makes a cool sacrifice, I kind of want to give him a B, but I've given too many characters a B. Maybe I'll just put him on C. Yeah. Oh, yep. Oh, okay. I'm saying, no, that's fine. I'm just glad I think I actually managed to sort the orcs out. I was worried about that before I started this one. I did not think I would be able to place all of them, but I've seen the films too many times. Definitely. This guy... Oh. Wait a second. Now I'm a little mixed up between this guy and that guy. Wait, he's there with the guys with the ponytails on their helmets. Is he in the Rohirrim? Oh, he is. Okay, and then this is the guy that's with Faramir, right? I think that's correct. It doesn't really matter. Both those guys that I'm thinking of are kind of like D tier characters. They like don't really annoy me, but I don't have any reason to put them as high as C. So it kind of goes for both of them, so it doesn't really matter which is which. If you haven't seen Lost, in each episode there would be like a polar bear or a ghost in the island, some scientist character, mysterious flashbacks, and at the end they just explode the island. Oh, well, that sounds insane. I do kind of know, like, vaguely what happens in Lost without actually having seen it, because people talk about it so much online. And it does sound like it just kind of goes way off from what you want it to be as it goes on. Right, what else have we got here? This is just the gatekeeper in Bree. That is not a... Really? Must we? Alright. Again, like, he lets them in. He's kind of like, nah, about it. But, like, there's no reason to put him higher than D or lower than D. You know. God, when there are a bunch of nothing characters, you're just kind of left going, The Ghost King is pretty badass. He's also a very annoying level in the Return of the King game for the PS2. Ooh, annoying ass level. Really cool level, but annoying ass level. But that's the thing. He's kind of annoying as a character, but he's cool as fuck. You know? They're the ultimate of all the moments in Lord of the Rings that are like, oh, now this happens, so the battle's going to turn back and forth, and then it happens again. Oh, something else happens, it's going to turn back and forth. They're the ultimate one. Fucking Ghost Army. Aragorn's just like, excuse me, Battle of Minas Tirith, we're done now. Then the ghosts don't come with them to Mordor, so they could have easily all died. It's like the Eagles, right? You can't really love them because they only turn up occasionally, not when it would just be convenient. Maybe we'll give him a C. He's not... I don't feel like he's net good, if you know what I mean. But badass. So it's kind of hard to know what to do with him, but I'll put him on a C. We still haven't done Merry and Pippin. Partly because it's hard. Neither are as good as Sam as characters. But which one do you actually like more? I feel like it is personal preference, because Pippin's more like meant to be more annoying, but Merry's like very serious a lot of the time. And then they both have moments where they're just like fantastic, and they're at their best when they're together. Can I really say I'm putting one on A and not the other? I don't think I can. I know it just ends up with practically the whole Fellowship apart from Boromir and Frodo on S or A, but they're just such good characters, these two. You can drink your fancy ales, you can have your wine dragon, but true comes to the great Greek dragon. Come on, they're so good together. I'm just gonna put them on the same tier. It just makes sense. Saruman as a villain. Again, a character that just kind of sits back, sits in his tower, falls out, just dies. That's not what happened in the books, but it is interesting. I was like, what about all the people and the weird happenings? Is the government into this? Are there supernatural stuff going on? No, just bomb the island. Too complicated. Burn it with fire. Jumped on the cave troll. That's true. That's true. Yep. They're both brave when it comes down to it. They're both really funny characters. They're like really good, not overly annoying side comedic characters. And they've got their own stuff going on at times. And they really got their own character journeys throughout it, you know? You gotta love them. You gotta love them, despite their faults. Yeah, Saruman's he's a difficult character. Like, he's not as good an actual villain as, like, Gollum or the Balrog. He's maybe like a B tier. He's got really cool monologues, though. That's true. He's difficult. He's tricky. He is a good character. It's like Theoden, you know? Great monologues. The worst reveals series do is when a main character is the child of high-ranking character. Also, when they do a side adventure to get. Oh. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like both Saruman and Theoden you could make arguments for A tier. Okay? I mean, Theoden's definitely not as good a character as Gimli or Legolas, but he's got so many great moments. He's got so many great moments for this comparatively short amount of runtime he gets. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on a horse. Aragorn, let's go fucking get ourselves killed. Let's do it. He loves that shit. He's all into, like, being really epic. Less than half of what I'd hoped. He's such a meme, but such a great one. I do love Theoden. You know what? Fuck it. I'll give him an A. I'll give Saruman an A. Look at this. Really leveling out where we're putting these people. He didn't expect the trees to be pissed off. True, Saruman did make a really, like, the dumbest mistake that anyone made in the whole trilogy was Saruman's. Thinking he wouldn't piss the trees off by burning down the forest. And if he hadn't made that mistake, he still would have lost, right? Because he needed to burn down the forest to make his army for Helm's Deep. They still lost the Battle of Helm's Deep even with all those people. Could he have defended Isengard if the trees hadn't attacked? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like an upgrade or just new equipment. I want the story to progress. The sword is not enough for me. Yeah. But yeah, Saruman, I think he is a very interesting villainous character. The whole betrayal at the start, and he's kind of, like, you shouldn't feel sympathetic for him, because he is really just lusting after power. Like, he's not actively being, like, drawn in by Sauron so much as he's like, yeah, fuck it, I want more power, let's do this. Yeah, you know? So, I don't really feel sympathy for him in the way that I feel it for, like, Gollum, some other characters. But still. Now, this guy fucking rocks. You gotta love this guy. His wife, hate her. This guy, he's lovable. I'll put him on, like, a C. He's one of those other, like, lovable characters that you're just like, hey, yeah. He's all like, every time he sees someone. He's just lovely. There's nothing to him. I couldn't name him for the life of me, but he's just a lovely character, isn't he? Who the fuck is that? I have no idea. None. None. Okay, wait, we'll come back to him. What is happening here? Who's this guy? Who's that guy? Is he like one of the old farmers? He's another hobbit, right? I think. Losses to Rohan would have been worse without the trees. True, but if he hadn't cut down the trees, thereby angering the Ents, would the losses to Rohan have leveled out? You know, because they wouldn't have lost as many people at Helm's Deep. It wouldn't even have been close, right? So, really the best business decision would have been to try and go after the Ents before they got organized. Try and take them out while he was making his army or something. And then go to Helm's Deep, right? I think that's the best thing he could have done. Yeah. Is Harry Potter a Bissunen? A pretty boys show? We got all these stereotypes. Who do you prefer, young lady? I don't know what Bissunen is. A pretty boys show? I don't think so. Right. Here's the thing, right? Sauron's a good villain, but he's not much of a... He doesn't, because he is like a mental threat, you don't see him do anything, so I think there's only so high you can put him. So again, I'd maybe put him on like A. But if you're going to put, out of all of these villainous characters, if you're going to put any of them on S, okay, hear me out, it's got to be the Witch King of Angmar, right? It's got to be the Witch King. He's the coolest villain there is. He rides a giant birdie dragon-looking fucker. He's got, like, the cool design, the physical threat. He's got the badass, like, scary voice. He's kind of the perfect amalgamation of a lot of the villains here. He looks cool like the Balrog. He's got the scariness to him like Sauron. And he's like a big general guy like this guy. Not really much of Saruman to him, but he could have beaten Saruman. Yeah. I think he's the coolest, best, most interesting villain there is. I would have liked to see more of him, because it was like a short amount of time we saw him for. But, goddamn, you know, and I'm kind of letting him represent the Ringwraiths, the Nazgul in general, like all of them, because they're not all individually here. So if you take them in general as a group especially, they're the S-tier villains in Lord of the Rings. They're the coolest. Like, goddamn, all the scenes, like, from Fellowship, when they're riding along, chasing them, and Weathertop. Weathertop's one of the best scenes in the whole trilogy. It's so good. And then them getting washed away by the river. Badass. Arwen's best moment. Why she gets a B. They're cool. And the Witch King is super cool. I think they are the best villains there are. Balrog's close. He's close to like an S tier, but not quite. Not quite. Treebeard. There's only so high you can put a Treebeard, really. I think he's like another, like, B. Treebeard can have a B, you know? But, like, he's... Like, they take so long to get going. Ents are so annoying in general. Like, especially in the books. Not as much in the films, which is what we're mostly talking about here. But especially in the books. Oh... Ents are annoying. All those chapters. It's so frustrating to read. But Treebeard he is a net good character. He does a lot of good. Rallies the Ents in the end. Good guy. Get Treebeard in, eh? No. They're too boring, the Ents. Bishi means pretty and Shunin means boy. It's a category of shows with different kinds of boys. One for each viewer to like. Oh, sometimes can be described as romantic Power Rangers. Really? That is something I haven't heard of before. Bishunin. Wow, a pretty boy show. I guess Harry Potter definitely has a lot of, like, different stereotypes of boys. Imagine, like, a Harry Potter dating game. Someone could make a lot of money with a Harry Potter dating game, actually. So I think you're right, to some degree. If there is a, like, stereotype kind of thing called that, I think Harry Potter could feasibly be counted as one, yeah. Where the hell do you put Shelob? No harm to Sam. He's not the most physically powerful guy. So if you're able to be beaten by him, you're not exactly a very tough villain, okay? Whereas Sam, in the S tier, baby, he's the best character. Shelob is not. Shelob's not a strong villain. Scary, intimidating, scared the shit out of me, mentally scarred me forever as a child. Sam is S. He's an S. But Shelob, just for getting beaten by not exactly the most physically powerful hobbit out there. And hobbits are not exactly the most physically powerful race out there. I don't think you're that strong a villain, you know. I'm gonna stick you in D, Shelob. That's right. And you scarred me for life. Shelob is the spawn of a demon. A bitch-ass demon, apparently. Right. Wait. Now, where the fuck do you rank the ring? How dare you put that as a character? How the hell do I rank the ring? I don't like the ring as a character. It's not an interesting character to me. It just wants to go home to daddy. What a bitch-ass submissive character, really, when you think about it carefully. More carefully than I should be thinking about it. It's just the character that makes other characters weaker, right? If there was a humanoid character like that in something, Sam was small, fast, good sword, and the light was like kryptonite. Okay. I don't think that automatically makes Shelob a great villain, though. It was really like when you're watching it back through Return of the King, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, let's get through the Shelob bit, you know? Right? The most popular right now is an anime named Haikyuu. It's about a high school volleyball team. An anime about a high school volleyball team. That sounds like the most anime thing in the world, right? That sounds so anime fitting. There is the goofy guy, the smart classes one, the serious one, the feminine one, the thug one, etc. Wow. Okay. An anime series about a high school volleyball team. I kind of want to watch it because that sounds like the ultimate, like, overly memey anime thing in the world. Yeah, the ring, I don't know what to do with the ring. It is, if there was a humanoid character that just made other characters seem shitter, you wouldn't like it, right? So I guess that makes sense. Uno Goliant devoured the 2 trees of Valinor, plunging the world into darkness, overpowered Satan, ate all his jewelry, before only being defeated by an army of Balrogs. Well, alright then. That's Shelob's mother. That's pretty impressive, but I mean, Shelob's not, right? At least not. We're mostly basing this on the films. Mostly. And when I rewatch Return of the King, especially Extended Edition, I'm just kind of going, okay, get through the Shelob bit. Let's get into the final act here. It's just kind of there to be another roadblock, you know? Not a really important one, just kind of in the way. Terrible, most powerful force corruption in Middle-earth. It's the chaos gods of this world. Haikyuu is on Netflix last time I checked. It is? I have not seen that popping up anywhere. An anime about a high school volleyball team? It's on Netflix? I might watch that. That sounds funny. Right, now let me get this right, okay? This guy in the middle is, I want to say Theoden's son, right? Theon? It's something like Theon, or it begins with like a TH as well, I think. He just dies. That's not a character, right? That's who that is, right? I think so. You know, I'm just thinking, because I've been going in my head like, oh, there's so many characters we must have left out, but there really isn't, because we've gone all the way down to the horses and orcs and the ring. Isildur's not here, right? That's not him, right? Isildur's just not on this list. That was a major one they forgot. Well, not major, but more major than some of these characters. That's weird. There's not many like that I can think of off the top of my head that has been left off of this. I didn't make this list, by the way. I do make some of them, but I didn't make this one. But, yeah, he's not here. Huh. I think that's Theoden's son, anyway. He just seems like a bitch. Dies immediately. And then these 2 characters, I'm not sure about at all. If I had to guess based on what this guy looks like, I'd say that's Tom Bombadil, but he's not in the films. Were they trying to do like all the characters of the books and didn't have a picture of him, so they just picked up a picture of a guy that looks like he could look? I don't know what to say about that. Girls die for that show. There are even entire fan groups for just one of the guys. It's like football club fans on steroids, but instead it's romance instead of goals. I kind of want to watch it now and review it and either shit on it or unironically love it. there's no in between, right? For something like that, you're either going to get really into it or really, really laugh at how stupid it is. I think that's meant to be Tom Bombadil. I might be going insane. Somebody might comment on this later and say, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't recognize that guy from any of the Lord of the Rings films. If it's Tom Bombadil, we're putting him right on A. Badass character from the books if you don't know him. He turns up early. He saves the hobbits when they get stuck in some old tombs. And he's just a fucking badass and doesn't come along with them. Doesn't give a shit about the ring. He's either a god or, like, I don't know what he is. But he's awesome. We will put him up there. And then this guy I feel like I vaguely recognize. Who is he? Who is that guy? I feel like he's a hobbit, but I can't remember which one. Or I could be wrong. Is he from around Bree or is he like from the Shire? I'll put him on C because I like his face. Yep. That is the one case there where I really cannot remember a face from the films because it's so vague and random. He's probably someone really important and I've just totally forgotten about him or something insane. But I think that's good, guys. Look at that. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see a bit better if you missed any of this. Alright, that'll do. We got Aragorn, Gandalf, Sam, and the Witch King of Agmar because badass just a villain. I'm a mod now. I don't think you are, Ross. And then you got like Legolas, Gimli, Balrogs just for the design. Such a cool design. Best designed villain. And Gollum, Merry and Pippin, Theoden, Saruman, with Sauron. Yeah. I think that's about right. I think that's about fair. Eagles, Faramir, Boromir, Eomer. These are just straight up ordinary, exactly what you'd expect to see on B tier, right? Faramir, Boromir, Eomer. Yeah, I think so. And then just characters I generally like but are not important. None of these characters are that important to the story of Lord of the Rings. Bilbo, slightly more. I guess like the Ghost King. But realistically, they're more minor characters that are just nice. And then people like Eowyn, Frodo, Elrond, who are actually vaguely annoying. That horse. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not as good as Shadowmere. And then these bitches. Those are the bitches. Those deserve F tier. Yeah. No, that seems fair to me. Common phrase is who's best boy or who's best girl for Bishu. Ross. Are you advertising again? I'll have to get rid of this one myself if you're not careful. Whoop. Thank you for the donation. Stop. Cam. I think he's been advertised suitably, okay? Yeah, that seems weird. Are you team Steven or Julia, etc.? Or shipping is a phrase, wanting two characters to end up together? Oh yeah, no, shipping I've heard of commonly, but that level of like dedication to an anime about volleyball in high school is insane. I've got to look it up. I will. You know what? I think I will. Well, that's all we've got to do for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me zoom back out. Yeah, I think that's another good one there. Looks clean. Look, we do these all the time. We do these every week. So, I mean, if you've got anything that you would like to see, at least he made me a mod. No, I didn't. What do you mean? Oh, right. He made you a mod. Right, I see. Well, that was probably a bad idea by him, really. But that's not enough to advertise. Can I say something before you leave? Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, guys, if there are any other, like, tier lists you want, you go ahead and let me know. You know, anything. It's not a big deal. I will do whatever, basically. Especially if it's, like, inside a fandom that I know anything about. You know, there's a lot of other character lists like this that I would enjoy doing. I like The Last Airbender I was thinking about. I just finished watching the new Shire on Netflix. I enjoyed that a lot. Character ranking of that would be cool. There are a lot of TV shows. You could do this for like Game of Thrones. You could do this for a whole ton of things, really. So let me know what other kind of ones like that you would like to see, what other tier lists you'd like to see that are not anything like that. Because we have done some weird ones. We did, like, all the flags of the world. I didn't know what to say about most of that, but it took a couple of hours. Spent all that time doing that for real. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I think that's everything. Somebody have something they wanted to say? It would be interesting to film your thought before you watch it, then after you watch it. It's really popular. You couldn't imagine how much the volleyball is selling. It's close to Harry Potter numbers? It can't be. Well, Harry Potter numbers in what way? Harry Potter was never a TV show. What metrics are you using there? That's mad, really. And this is... It's on Netflix? It's not made by Netflix, surely. They don't have an anime that's that popular, right? That's weird. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what thoughts I have before I watch it. I'm assuming it's going to be really over the top, really dumb. It's gonna have like a ton of moments, right, where it's like super like slow motion volleyball shots, and there's like girls in the crowd cheering or really stupid like stuff like that, right? It was a book first. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. I get it. Yeah, I don't really have a huge amount of thoughts. It's basically that it's got to be really over the top, really stupid, really over dramatic, like melodrama kind of stuff. A comic book's still going. Gosh, that sounds weird. I'm gonna go look this thing up. I'm very interested to see what it's like, but I imagine I'm going to kind of hate love it. That's my estimation. That's my guess. I'm gonna love watching it to hate on how stupid it is. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I check out the video from earlier today, the vlog of me reacting to all of the news clips and news articles online about my billboard stuff. I think I'm reviewing tonight the B-movie game, which is hard to do. Have fun. Remember, women die for this show. Have a good one. All right. Okay. I will bear that in mind before I bash it too much in a video, because that would be terrifying. And yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow at some stage. I might actually be playing more balloons tomorrow. I wanted to do a game of Gartic Phone with channel members. Maybe I should set up a like separate Discord, have one for channel members, have one for just any subscribers who want to join at one. And we could try to set up like a Gartic Phone stream or a couple of other games through that instead for now. Or if you guys want to join as a channel member, any of you, then you can get in that special Discord, yeah. But go ahead, there is a join link down below, next to the subscribe button, if you fancy it. It's not actually that expensive, but it does cost money, so you really don't have to. But thank you guys so much. I will see you later.